first take a look at implied ranges and how did we perform. Well, the day ended up basically unchanged as of previous day. So in the scope of the week, we are slowly grinding higher to the upper boundary. It moved a bit, but not much. And there are some news on the timeline today and later on, so this might bring some further volatility. But so far, very calm market. We are making those lower highs, and if we can break this area, which is 22.5, we will start one time framing higher on weekly, which is kind of bullish, but we can easily get back inside, and then the possibility of traversing to the other extreme is quite high. So let's take a look at daily. The volumes are again weak. Here's also weak, and number of trades is weak. Just a quick glance at where we are when it comes to value at the volume. We are right in the 20-day and 5-day point of control. 90 days higher. The last one. Yeah, the bands are coiling. So let's think of our game plan and what did yesterday bring. We did come to this level, and I missed the original trade, which would have been really great. I did take a trade early on when we opened below and traded higher back within previous day's range. I'm not sure. I think it was in this small volume bulge, so around daily lows, and I rode it to the highs. When we start falling, I exited the rest. So I was thinking about making a new trade based on the same principles here, but then again I wasn't that sure. So the first one would have been like an A setup. The second one here would be maybe like B. We had matching highs, so that was quite okay for continuing, and we did enter the day's range, so the odds were that we will traverse to the other part, but I was afraid that we had singles and we filled them. We got pretty deep, and also B period low is okay. I thought it was weakish, but the price action around those levels were really exact. They were buyers from the same level. So anyway, those two trades were quite okay. I'm not sure about getting short around value area high. It would have worked, but I don't know about the stops, so maybe stopping above daily high for potential rotational trade back to the point of control. But then again, I would grade it like C, because it would be counter trend. So now we ended up within previous day's range, and now we are going to open again within value. I made a small trade early on. I was planning to buy. I think I ended up buying here, but I was interested in this bulge, and it ended up being exactly where we ended. So my initial trade was like I was buying here, and I exited some when we went lower. I didn't look at the TPO chart, and I forgot about the zone. I didn't mark it finally. So anyway, and I was also hoping that we might get here. So like initial idea was to trade from here, and the second one was to neglect the zone. But anyway, now overnight inventory is short. We are going to open within value, and previous day doesn't have any meaningful levels. This bulge of volume is going to be overnight low, so it adds a bit of meaning to it, but not that much. So I would say that after 2 days of balance, we might finally break out of it. But unless we have this news, so let's assume that we open around here, which is highly unlikely. So I would like us to see trading higher that fails above the high, similar like we had yesterday, and then I would enter short with stops just above the daily high, and I would like to see us traversing value. So that would be the first idea. For the longs, I would like us to clear this lows and maybe get back into this small bulge of volume, maybe lower, and then similar scenario, look below and fail for the second trade. So interesting zones are 6100 and 6072. For continuation trade, I think it will be more tricky, because it really depends how we will open. But let's assume we open higher, we have this move up, and then I would probably wait for B period to print, and depending on the trade location, I might let's say we open something like this, and then when we get a decent range, so I can enter with good risk to reward. So maybe here with stops just back within previous day's range or previous day's value, and that would give me better than 1-to-1 risk to reward. And I'd be hoping for a bigger move to the upside. There is not much there, so I think that we can clear this this range, which would be 25 points and maybe higher. And to the downside, there is a really similar situation. So if we break lower, below yesterday's lows, there is also this previous low made in the overnight, and if that is also cleared, I would be looking for a pullback to short. Seems like a long way from those levels, but it can easily change after the news. And below that, there is not much left to get us below this overnight low, below this level. And let me just quickly check where the weekly low is. So the weekly low is 59.50, and this would mean that it is much lower than that level, and here we have this gap just below. So also quite possible that we can take a look into this gap, not maybe necessarily fill it entirely, but we can easily fill half of it or so, because the structure above is really like non-existent. There is not much that we can rely on. There is this level which is single print base or around, and some activity overnight, but that is not that much. And beside that, there aren't any point of controls and so on that we could look for support. So yeah, when those levels break, we can easily traverse 100 points even. That's it.